One.
Quiet on the set, please. No, go right ahead. It's okay. We won't be distracted. Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Falcons Corner, voice of the Falcons, Mike Rickert, sitting on camera, the SID, turning to Tom, filling in for Danny.
First time in a couple weeks on that camera here.
We're late filming. We're a day behind because we had a home baseball game yesterday. Danny could not make filming today. He's not suspended.
No.
And we just wanted to get your face on camera.
Yeah, that's the excuse here.
Yeah.
That's what we want. That's what we're going to go with.
Yes.
But yeah, we had a baseball game at the normal-ish time when we would be filming or so. Had to go down to Exeter, Pennsylvania, down in my neck of the woods.
Yep.
And we're on site down there. Of course, had that moment of, you know what we should have done? And we didn't end up doing it because we didn't have the mics or anything like that. So we didn't do anything live down there.
Yes.
So.
But we were at baseball. They had, like we said, their first home game. They got to wear their home whites. And had an 8-inning victory. They won 14-4. 10-run ruled them, Sullivan County. And it was nice to see our guys.
Yeah, it was. It was, first live action baseball that we've been able to see so far this year. And everybody looked pretty good, I'd say, for sure. Had 3 home runs in the 5th inning, 2 traditional ones. And then Mitchell Jalico had the inside the Parker there in the 5th as well. And that kind of gave them just enough of a gap where they're able to run away with things.
Yeah. So it was nice to get them a victory. They came off a doubleheader sweep in the weekend to Monroe, Division I Monroe. Saw some really good quality pitching up there and lost a couple close games. But we're very competitive. So, you know, got back and back in the win column, and then they're back at it hopefully Friday morning.
Right.
And at the University of Scranton.
Yes.
And then, weather permitting, they'll be at Morris Saturday.
Yep. So Morris for a 9-inning game Saturday or Friday morning at the U, and then doubleheader at Morris and Randolph on Saturday, weather permitting, and then
if that weather holds up Saturday, they are at Shout Stadium in Dunmore as they face off against Bucks County. So a lot of hopefully a 5-day game window, over the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So hopefully they pull out a couple W's.
Yeah, that's the
maybe
hope,
5.
especially as they start to get into region play.
Right.
Maybe start to face teams. I don't want to say more their level, but more kind of like in Division II or in in Bucks case, they used to be in Division II, now as a USCAA team.
Right.
But just kind of get a little more of an idea of where you actually stand.
Right. Exactly. And stuff too. And region games are always important. So there'll be some more energy and stuff. So I'm excited for that. For our guys to get some region play. I may even make the trip out to Randolph. We'll see how I feel if I want to get in the car and go for a drive or not. We'll see what happens. But best of luck to our baseball dudes. Got to get above 500 and get a string of wins together. And then softball has not touched the field yet due to weather.
It's going to be as long as the weather holds out. They're scheduled to play on Thursday at home, which would be their home opener against Northampton. As long as the weather holds out, it would be 2 weeks since they have played. If they don't get that game, they're still on the road Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Right, yeah. So, hopefully we get them at home. It's just we can get some home softball action for a change. But they have a long weekend ahead of them. So any postponements, cancellations, things of that sort, that's your job.
LackawannaFalcons.com.
Yep. And then we will be restreaming those live events, right? So if we play Thursday, that's streamed. If we're good for Friday, that's going to be streamed on LackawannaFalcons.com/live.
Yep, yeah, we'll have the home games there, and then I know Friday and Saturday they'll be up in Syracuse with Onondaga and Hudson Valley. I think Onondaga did that last year. They streamed them last year, so we should have that. Then they're down at Salem on Sunday. Well, if there are any streams or anything like that, we'll have that up on LackawannaFalcons.com. And then, of course, they get right back to it with Orange next week at home, and it's
eventually these games got to be played.
Well, that's the thing,
and then eventually weather's going to cooperate.
The spring is very interesting in that you can have these moments of we got a game here, game a couple days later, but then in April it's just almost every day there's something going on. So
which is good. We like to stay busy.
Exactly,
we like to stay busy and stuff too. So we're going to hopefully talk to our athlete of the week.
Yes,
who is an esports dude, so you could get caught up on all esports thing during your esports conversation.
That's the plan.
Yeah, but go ahead, announce our athlete of the week.
Xavier Lasenburg from Lackawanna College Esports. He has been really kind of the main guy for their Super Smash team, and is undefeated on the year here in the spring semester. Had a thrilling comeback had a thrilling 5-set match in his game on last Wednesday. Won 3-2 to stay undefeated. He's top of his leaderboard right now. And then he also was kind of the anchor leg, if you will, of the crew battle they had on Thursday, where it's kind of more of a team competition. He was the guy that kind of came in and closed it out. Smash Brothers is undefeated in crew. He's undefeated. He's got another teammate that's undefeated as well in individual competition. So really successful spring so far, and it's nice that we get to highlight those kids too, So,
and I think the bigger story is Ian Murphy has not gotten his unprecedented third consecutive athlete of the week.
The Mustangs of Monroe somehow kept him under wraps.
A little bit, a little bit. So. I'm sure Ian is disappointed he couldn't keep the streak alive, but all the good things need to come to an end, and he's got to share that award a little bit.
Yeah, everybody's got to get a shot at this,
Yep. So let's take a break. Talk to our student athlete of the week, and we'll be back in the Falcons Corner. Good? Good. All right, we'll be back. Take flight.
Each one of us has a dream. The challenge in today's world is how to achieve it. Now, more than ever, that's the case. Don't fall behind on your dreams or your college education. You can take your general education classes in English, math, and social science locally at Lackawanna College. Our credits transfer to most colleges so you won't fall behind. Call Lackawanna College today to find out how you can stay home, stay safe, and still pursue your college education. This is life-changing. This is Lackawanna College.
Going to college is a lot more than just about getting an education. It's a life experience.
It's personal growth.
Connections that last a lifetime.
It's memories that are everlasting and experiences that you could have never imagined. It's an education that will change your life forever.
This is life-changing. This is Lackawanna College.
Hey, it's Tom Ferguson, Sports Information Director with Lackawanna College, and we're talking to our Lackawanna College Athlete of the Week. This week, we delve into the world of esports with Xavier Lasenburg from the Lackawanna College Esports Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Squad. Xavier, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm all right. Thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it. I know you guys are kind of busy. I know today's a quote-unquote game day for you as well. You guys are competing tonight in Super Smash Brothers, those individual competitions, the NJCAAE. But Athlete of the Week last week for a stellar performance again. A 3-2 thriller you were able to win, stay undefeated on the year, stay atop your leaderboard. What's been working so far this year for you and for your teammates in Super Smash?
Just consistent practice, get-togethers, just trying to just practice and meet up every week, see what we could work on, like game review, VOD reviews, and just see what we can work on, like little just micro spacing, or like, hey, this is what we need to do better. Hey, you keep doing this at this point in time of every match, just working on that.
So what's, for people that maybe, because esports is still so new to a lot of people, practice is that it's not just going in and just choosing your characters, choosing a level and going. It's probably more involved in terms of setting up situations for yourself, right?
Yeah. So like what me and my teammates do is we'll go and pick our characters, and then I'll just say right at the top, like if I see something, I'll be like, you keep doing that at this particular moment, And this is why you lose your stock or lose the match.
Right.
Because of this moment right then and there. And then, you know, we keep note of that. And then we go to VOD reviews and we be like, hey, you know, we just take notes. This is what you do right here. Stop rolling or stop doing this attack at this point. And just stuff like that.
Right.
So.
Right. And then that obviously, like you would hope in practice, kind of pays off when you get to the actual matches, the actual one-on-ones, and you use that moving forward. I mean, how you guys have had good obviously good communication, as you said, good preparation, getting ready for that. When you get into a match, how does that stuff kind of prepare you for what happens there? I mean, especially maybe you're going against somebody you're not familiar with. You know, you're playing kids from all across the country. So how does that translate?
So I like to start off a match by, like, I guess throwing like a projectile and seeing what they do to condition them. If they don't do what I want them to do, then I know, like, okay, he's either playing offensively or defensively,
right?
And then I go off of there,
right?
You know, so just snowball effects,
right? Right. The character you choose is Ryu, right?
Yeah.
So how did you kind of settle on what game is Ryu from?
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter. So how did you settle on him?
I'm a big fan of Street Fighter. So I played Street Fighter all my life. Me and my dad. So I just chose him. Right. Like, this is the character.
And that I mean, up until last week in the crew match where you chose somebody else to play as.
Yeah.
Kind of threw everybody for a loop, and even you know Coach Bob D and Coach Teddy. But you have stayed consistent on Ryu. I mean, like, so you at this point, I'd imagine, know the character inside and out, right?
Yeah, I've been playing competitive Smash since I want to say 2016, 2017.
Wow. So how did you kind of get involved with that? Because I think a lot of, like, especially my generation, you know, Super Smash Brothers was, you know, the thing you played at N64, and then, like, my roommates bought the N64 in college to play it again, and then gradually moved up through our time in college, the GameCube, and then everything else to keep getting the other ones even within a year. But we would play that like late at night and all that, and I think a lot of people maybe have that perception of it. So how did you kind of get into the mindset of, I want to play this competitively?
So my parents, ever since I was younger, ever since I had my Super Nintendo in front of me, I've always played Street Fighter 2, Tekken. My parents always knew that video games were my thing.
Right.
My brothers used to always be like, hey, you're really good. You're really good. And then, so I think one day I found a group of friends in high school. We all just started playing like Super Smash Brothers, Street Fighter, all that stuff. And, you know, there was this school tournament. I ended up placing not so good, but then I met my other friend who I grew up with. He ended up hosting tournaments.
Right.
And then I would just go participate every week. And it just became like routine. I wanted to do this.
You get bit by the bug, more or less.
Yeah.
And like it just became something you can do, and obviously it's translated into success here at Lackawanna College. We're talking with Xavier Lasenburg from the esports team. So where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Harlem, New York. I grew up in Mount Pocono.
Okay.
And then I moved to Scranton about 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
I just moved. You know, I just wanted something new.
Right.
So.
And you came here, and then how did you kind of get hooked up with Lackawanna College?
My girlfriend, actually. She said that there's an amazing esports program. I went to Luzerne a semester before I came here.
Right.
And they didn't have any esports program. You know, I was like, I'm looking for something. I really want something.
Yeah.
Like to take this year to the next level. My girlfriend was like, you should try it. Come take a look at it. That's when I met my coach, you know, and then I was like, I want this. And I saw the room and I was like, this is amazing. You know, so.
Well, yeah, you saw the bat cave, if you will, you know, of all the computers and everything. And I mean, you know, Teddy and Bob have done a great job too, I think, with some of the events they put on in the theater too, right? And that probably drew you to being able to come here and do that. And so are there any other games that you compete competitively in, or is it really just Super Smash?
I would like to see more traditional fighters. So like, Smash is known as a platform fighter,
right? Because
of the area it's in, you know, like you could jump on platforms and stuff.
Right.
I would like to see more traditional fighters like Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat. I've been playing a lot of Apex, like on my free time, but right now it's just Smash.
Yeah.
You know, just Smash Brothers for right now.
It hasn't gotten tiring, haven't gotten sick of it yet, or are there moments where you're like, man, I really need to play something else?
There's definitely moments where I was like, I need to play something else, because just playing that game for so many hours, I was like, I'm kind of tired.
Is like the menu music and everything kind of just going through your head constantly?
Yeah. Me and my girlfriend joke about it all the time. We're like, you know, it's just always stuck in my head.
Well, you've had a lot of success so far, undefeated in the spring semester. One of your teammates, Bikram, is also undefeated so far. If you're kind of comparing styles, because I don't know enough to know what maybe the difference is. Is there a difference between how you and he plays? Is there something that he does that you wish you did better, or vice versa? Or
he's very when it comes to a lot of things, he's very patient. So like he'll just, I don't know if you guys seen us play, but like when I'm throwing like my fireballs, he'll just stay there, he'll just sit there, and he'll just wait for me, and and then he waits for me to whiff an attack, and then he punishes.
Yeah.
So he's very patient. That's something I think I could work on. When I hold advantage state, I think that's where I shine, is like I keep the ball rolling.
Yeah.
I feel like with him sometimes he drops the ball when it comes to like advantage state, but he's a solid player. I've seen him grow like as a player, very, very good. Like I think he can actually like compete with me now. Like he's really, really good.
I was gonna say, are there moments in practice too where maybe you guys are sparring against each other and kind of learning too? I mean, it's got to help you, and it's certainly got to help him and your teammates as well to kind of go up against each other and have that competition in practice.
Yeah, like when I first met Bash Bikram, he washed me. I'm not gonna lie, like he washed me, and I was like, I don't understand. I never played this character before because nobody uses like We Fit. So I started playing him, and I started getting the routine. I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. So just practice and just keep going.
Right, right. I love this stuff because, like, again, I come from the mindset where this was kind of like a pipe dream of being able to play this stuff professionally or play this stuff and competitively and stuff. So I love being able to kind of like talk to people that are doing that. So what do you want to do after Lackawanna College, after your time here?
So I am in another org. It's called NPT, and it's been a little bit hazy right now because of the whole Super Smash Brothers like community and Nintendo like hosting tournaments. But I plan to just keep going. Like, I think video games are my passion. I'm still going to get my degree.
Sure.
I still want to do school and work and stuff. But
right.
It's definitely been my dream, and I'm just going to keep pushing.
What are you studying here at Lackawanna?
Right now it's general studies, but I plan on switching to OTA and just see where it goes from there.
Right, right. Excellent. So you'll have your foot in that world a little bit and still have, obviously, what's going on with Super Smash and everything. So what are you looking forward to? We're talking to you on a game day, if you will. What are you looking forward to as the rest of the season kind of goes on? Because esports season, especially in the spring, is even more condensed than necessarily the other spring sports. So what's kind of on the horizon for you guys here?
I want to win. Like I know last season I wasn't feeling the best. I know I folded a couple of times. A couple of the players actually I beat this season that I lost to last season. So I'm kind of happy about that. I definitely want to win this. Whether it be, I just want our school to win. So whether it be me, C. Millith, Bash, Jen, anybody, I just want us there in the finals.
Right.
Any one of us. It doesn't matter.
Now, do you pay attention to some of the other esports crews as well, like Rocket League when they're in competition? Are you watching them occasionally too?
Occasionally, yeah. Yeah, Rocket League's a weird game. It's really a weird game.
What's weird about it to you?
I don't know. Like I don't know. It's weird. I like to just like fight and hit people. And like there's like, I don't know, that game's hard. Like Rocket League's so hard.
It's hard, and as someone who comes from the sports world, it's funny. It's probably the closest to a sport, if you will.
Oh, really?
Just I think in terms of how it's played, because there's goals, there's a time limit, you've got statistics in terms of shots and saves and goals. So like you can almost tell the story of what's going on. Sometimes I feel in the other sports or in the other games, it's harder. Like you have moments where you're saying, okay, they did this. When you're talking about like Overwatch or something like that, you can say, okay, they did this maneuver to get, hit on the point here to do this, or even Super Smash, they really started to use, a range option or something like that to kind of get it. Sometimes it's tougher to say what happened than it is in Rocket League. But
I get that.
But I'm amazed sometimes when I see some of the stuff that goes on in Rocket League, and I just can't imagine me trying to do any of that, trying to balance any of that out. Well, Xavier, it was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Really
Thank you
cool.
so much.
Congratulations on Athlete of the Week. Good luck tonight. Good luck the rest of the way. I hope we get to talk to you. Hope we get to talk to your teammates more and get to talk more about what you guys are doing this semester.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We'll be back with more. It's Falcons Corner. Take flight.
En Lackawanna College no estamos aquí para cambiar el mundo, pero cambiaremos su forma de pensar, cómo ataca los problemas y supera las limitaciones, cómo se esfuerza por convertir los desafíos en oportunidades. Es una experiencia que cambiará su vida y tal vez entonces puedas cambiar el mundo. Esto cambia la vida. Este es Lackawanna College.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Falcons Corner. Voice of the Falcons, Mike Rickert. Turn 2, Tom, SID. Sitting in for Danny.
Sometimes a good guy to know.
Yes.
Not the good guy
Yeah,
to know,
but you're
like
fine. Everyone wants to know Ferg. Everyone wants to know Ferg. Yeah. Tremendous job. Every interview you do gets better and better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
someday I'm going to stick around for them and watch them in person.
You're just happy because when I showed up, the interview stopped having to be your thing.
Yes.
They got to be my
I
thing.
could just do the other parts and stuff too. So, but you know, well, at that time we weren't sure how busy you were going to be.
Right.
And we wanted to make sure you were busy. So, you know, we said, well, have Ferg do it.
Yep.
You know, now you're too busy, but you still do them.
But I still find a way.
Yeah, you still find a way and stuff too. So, but that was a good show. We did a good job.
I thought so. Yeah. Short and sweet, but you know.
I'm not sure how we're going to wrap it up. I don't have any. Do you have anything else to talk about?
It's a weird time of the year because, you know, as we said, we only really had 2 baseball games that have happened since the last time we taped. And then obviously we had the baseball game earlier this week. I mean, and we kind of got caught up with esports, but like softball hasn't played.
Right.
Football starts their spring practice in a week.
Right.
So they get started up soon. I know,
and we'll have some more stuff to talk on football as we get closer to the spring game and some events that we're going to have leading up to the spring game.
We can mention men's soccer has a scrimmage on Sunday.
Right.
That's scheduled down at Fitzpatrick Field, I think at 10 a.m. At the University of
Which is a good little reward for them because they're in the weight room and, you know, they're practicing in the mornings and getting, you know, they're running and stuff with coach.
I know Coach Sapash has had them up early practicing.
So it's a nice little reward for them. It's like, all right, all this work we're going to do is you know, pay off a little bit.
Get a scrimmage in.
And I know he's trying to, maybe part of his thinking too is he's, you know, recruiting some local dudes. So maybe have them come out and recruits come out and say, all right, look, you know, this is why you're going to be part of us. And this is what we're going to have to offer. And this is how you can help us.
I mean, the only other important need to know sport going on right now is probably intramural basketball, I would think.
It's
what's the latest with that?
Well, thankfully, Coach Shelby Morgan has some volleyball recruits on campus, so she has the gym scheduled for this evening. So there'll be no intramural
so you don't have to worry about it tonight. Okay.
And also, Coach Gabriel is doing some individual and team stuff with his guys Thursday evening. So there'll be no intramural Thursday.
Actual basketball players.
Yes. And then Friday there's baseball. So you know that may be nothing until next week. We did have a game this week.
Anybody get teed up?
There was no technicals, but if we're going back to technicals, last Friday we played 3 games. One team got teed up 4 times. And they think I'm picking on them. And I am. Because, like, you know that saying, that you catch more bees with honey, whatever that saying is, or whatever.
Right, yeah.
They don't understand that yet. So if you're going to bother me, you know, one of our quarterbacks, Hamas, said he just asked me a question. And I teed him up. Well, if you think you just asked me a question, then just don't ask me a question.
You told them. They can't even look at you.
Here's an example if you're a pain in the butt playing and you're crying for calls and stuff too. Their game went to overtime.
Right.
They asked if they have any timeouts. There's no timeouts. No timeouts in games. The next game they stayed around for. The team said, we get timeouts? You get 2. Because you don't say anything, you don't bother me. You know, there's no headaches, you know, there's no technical fouls. And they saw that I awarded timeouts and they were wondering why. And I was like, listen, if you don't complain about every call, then maybe I'll give you a timeout. Maybe you're punished from timeouts. You know, so they think I have money on the game that I'm making side bets and I'm deliberately making them lose.
Yes, yeah.
But you have to score more than 14 points in a basketball game to win. So that was my excuse to Hamas and his guys. But it is the most important sport going on. There's some really good dudes that could play the game, you know, and stuff too. So.
But there's a lot of dudes that think they can play the game.
And
too.
there's even more of those, you know. But you know, we'll make sure we'll film some once we get to championship level games. We'll bring in and we'll do some highlights.
We need some professional camera.
We'll get some.
Stuff,
we won't make it professional, but you know, we'll bring that stuff in.
Professional.
Yes, it would be me while I'm reffing, filming
on your phone.
Yes, and stuff too. You know, so. But no, intramural basketball is going well. The season's wrapping down because football guys. It's the majority of guys are football guys. So their spring season's starting, so it'll wind down a little bit for me. So it'll be a little bit quieter. But a big shout out to Coach Gabriel and Coach Morgan for taking some gym time away from me this week. So, all right, that's a wrap. That's good enough on intramural basketball talk. We'll be back with more intramural basketball talk next week.
We needed the update.
Yes,
we got it.
Yes. I get a little workout, though. I ref 3 games last Friday. I was a little sore.
Yeah.
A lot of backpedaling and shuffling because I try a little
now,
bit.
Are you key to key or do you go baseline? How far down do you go?
It depends on, honestly, it depends on who strikes up a conversation with me outside of the game. So, DeAndre Towns Blue was on the baseline. He started talking to me about something, and before I knew it, the game went to the other end. So I officiated just from the opposite baseline. So it's just
you got good eyes. Your eyes are fine.
I see just fine down there and stuff too. So, but sometimes I'll go baseline to baseline. Sometimes I'll go to hash mark to hash mark. Sometimes I'll just stand in half court.
I was gonna say, you seem like kind of just a 3-point line to 3-point line.
Yeah, that's
usually
how I play though too.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I'll ref how I play, 3-point line to 3-point line. All right, that's a wrap on the show. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you next week on the Falcons Corner. Take flight.